Hi guys, it's Mina. Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another fantasy pour, but this time I'm using some beautiful earth tones that I'm very excited about. Gorgeous colors. My canvas today is a 24 by 48 inch canvas that is 60.9 centimeters by 121.9 centimeters for those of you that like that better. For this size canvas, we multiply length times width, then we divide by 28, and this gives us 41 ounces of paint that we need to cover a 24 by 48. So what I'm going to be doing is using my 16 ounce cup. I'm going to fill it up twice. So 2 cups is 16 ounces. So if I need 41 ounces, I'm going to use this twice. That gives me 32 ounces. And then I have my little 1 cup one, which is another 8 ounces. So 32 and 8 or 9 ounces is 41, which is exactly what we need. I also have a base coat set up. Let me show you my colors. So I have one painting that I did probably when I first discovered the soft gold. Actually, this was the first thing I painted with it, and I was testing it to see how it would work, and I was still in my copper obsession, but this was months ago, not the recent copper obsession, the one before that. So anyway, I mixed the soft gold with the copper and VanDyke Brown, and it's this beautiful pour. I love it. So I want to try to recreate that with a little bit more color. To that end, we are using DecoArt Americana Decor metallics in the soft gold. My paint is a little thinner today. It is leaving a slight mound, but I have added Liquitex gloss medium and varnish and Floetrol, and then it was still a little bit thick, so I just added a little bit of water to everything. So even though it's kind of creamy and puffy, it's still thin. I also have the DecoArt Americana Decor 24 karat gold. So you can see the difference in the color between those two. That's the 24 karat, that's the soft gold. This one comes out very yellow and is the wonderful, beautiful little pearl cell maker. This one comes out more silvery. Okay, next one I have is Golden's VanDyke Brown. I love this color. So deep and dark, like espresso, just amazingly rich. Next one is Golden's Copper, Iridescent Copper Fine. Such an amazing color this one is. All the Golden's paints, honestly, just like, I have tons of other paints, but I don't want to play with them as much while I still have the Golden's. Okay, Pearl, DecoArt Americana Decor Metallics in Pearl, and then the Golden's Burnt Orange, which I do love this color. And this one does amazing things when it like mixes with like the pearl or something, or the gold, and it does this gradient. It's just fantastic. Okay, so let's layer our cup up here on the canvas while you guys can still see. All right, so I want to do a fantasy pour, but I want to go heavy on the straight pour this time. So to that end, I'm going to put a tiny bit of gold in the bottom of the cup, the 24 karat gold, and then I'm going to do a nice big layer of the VanDyke Brown. Okay, then let's go with some of the pearl. I'm supposed to be doing a straight pour, huh? And then some copper. Then let's go with some soft gold. And some burnt umber. So we'll see how the fantasy pour does with the dirty cup. And I'm going to just put some 24 karat in there too. That's really full. Probably too full. No self-control. Sorry. Okay, so I have 2 cups over here for a base coat. This is Artist's Loft white flow acrylic and some DecoArt Satin Enamels. No, don't spill. Okay, let me pull this over here. I filled up my cup way too much. I have to hold it. Okay. I'm going to start off with a puddle of the 24 karat gold. And we need to pour this because it's all spilling out. I filled it up way too much. Okay, here we go. From up high, straight pour, then I'm going to come down and do a ring pour real quick. And I'm going to go back up high and do more straight pour, then come down and do the ring pour again. And go back up high. So that should be interesting, to say the least. Okay. You come back. Do not go traveling yet. Okay, so I'm going to do this one faster. Let's see. I'm going to do another one here. I think I'm just going to stay up high on this one. Maybe until the very end. Because I want this to blend. Little circles while we're going up high. Get to the center. I want that ringpour. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do more like the first one I did. Okay. A little bit of gold in the middle. Okay. This one's only about half full, so this was the 1 cup. So that was 16, 32 plus 8 ounces is 41 ounces. Here we go. All right, so this one I'm going to go from, start from up high, and then get closer, and then go up high again. And get closer. Okay. Alright. That's good. I'm going to put this base coat around these now. Actually, first I'm going to thin out what's left of my soft gold just a touch. And anything that's left in my 24 karat cup. A little bit too much water in there, but that's okay. And I'm going to put what's left of my pearl in there also. So now I have pearl, soft gold, and 24 karat gold in here, thinned down a lot. And I'm going to use that as my flow extender around this. Okay, we have way more than enough paint. Actually, we probably have just enough paint. Alright, I do want to put this white base coat around this though. So this one is Artist Loft white with some satin enamels, pure white in there, and then I also put a little bit of the VanDyke Brown and a little bit of my 24 karat in there. My lovely little spatula. Let's just spread this over the corners. So I've had this issue with white lately, like pure white. I don't know, it's just too much contrast. So I've been either using warm white from the same DecoArt Americana Satin Enamels. They have a warm white, or I've been, put some gold in there, put some brown in there, something so it has a little bit of a tone to it, because just the pure white is so dark. I don't know, it bothers me lately. It doesn't mean that I haven't done it or I won't do it again. It's just I've been thinking about it a little differently. So this is good. Just get over the edge. There is a lot of that base coat flow extender, which is just fine with me because it's going to let my paint glide easy and move and keep some cool cells. Also, the reason I'm not rushing to tilt this is because the longer I wait, the more cells are going to come up from the straight pour. And we did a lot of straight pour from up high, so I am expecting a lot of cells. There is no silicone in my paint. When you're doing straight pour, you are pouring the paint from up high like you saw me do. Gravity is your friend. Pushes the paint down quickly, churns it, mixes it on its way down, aerates your paint and adds bubbles, which then become cells when you torch them. So that's very cool. This is looking beautiful. Hold on. All right, that's good. You see, it's traveling that way already because it's naughty. Naughty, naughty. Let's torch it real quick and see if more cells want to come up. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is come over here and kind of push it back this way a little bit because it is trying to travel. And here you can see where this came out first. This is where that watery, watered down gold mixture is. And that's okay because I do want it to roll over that a little bit and kind of eat that watery part. Good, now we're going to come back this way. And we're going to go ahead down that corner, on that side, to sort of open that up and stretch. Just nice and slow. Okay. I'm going to come back this way. Come back to the midline and just go over this corner here. There you go. Now, is that cool with the white now? Right on there. I need to turn it around. This way now. Oops. I see something in my flower. Did I get it? Where are we? I think I do want to come off the corner, or off the edge with these. The middle one mostly. There. Take a look at this. It's a little bit too uniform, but it is kind of cool. I think this side needs to come this way more. I'm not crazy about this dark part right in there, so I'm going to take out some of that and leave the part that I like, which is there. And then we're going to come back this way. I may take off some of that at the bottom over there too. Back to the middle just a little bit. And stretch out this side. I'm not crazy about all of this, so I'm going to let some of that go. You hear the hawks? Okay. Alright. Come back to the middle a little bit more. I'm going to take some of this bottom edge off the whole thing, especially this part in the middle. Okay, let's torch it again. See if we can't get any more pretty cells that come up. I love these colors. Oh my god, that burnt orange is so pretty in there. I was worried with the copper it was going to be too much, but it's gorgeous. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I might be a little close with the torch over here, but there's lots of beautiful things happening. In here where the satin enamels was, you see how it's kind of doing that cloud thing a little bit more. And if I mess with it, I don't want to move it because I torched it. So I'm not going to move it anymore. I keep doing that, don't I? Yeah, once you've torched it, well, once I torch it in this weather, with the sun coming out and about to set up on this area, I don't want to move it after I've torched it, because if I do have any cute little cells right now and I've torched them, then they're like, oh, okay, they start to set up, and okay, here we're going to be cells over here. And then if I tilt it after I've torched it and it's already started to set up a little bit, that breaks your cells. So don't do that. Once you've torched it, I wouldn't move it much unless you have a lot of paint on there. All right, so it looks like our edges are covered. This is very pretty. I like it a lot. I'm very happy with that. I love these colors. This color palette is just, that copper is amazing. And I love the VanDyke Brown and the gold and the pearl. So I like this a lot. And I like that there's this kind of edge here on the corner, and I like that this is a little weird and it's not all just straight lines. I like this part is like opened up a little bit. Very cool. This part is amazing. This color, I hope it's picking up. Ooh, that's interesting. So there's little pearl cells coming up through the copper, and then there's that the burnt orange coming up through that, which is really neat. That VanDyke Brown is just so cool because it does so many different things. Like over here it's really dark, but it's kind of like laced on top of the gold, because I put the gold in the cup first, remember? And so that VanDyke Brown is sitting on top of it. So it's kind of a thin sheer layer. And then there's all these beautiful little cells coming up through here in that burnt orange and in the copper. And there's some little gold pearl floaty cells too. And there's lots of little cells coming up in here. I love this part where there's the lighter cells floating on top of that VanDyke Brown. This is very pretty. So this is the kind of thing that's going to develop over time. All of this is going to get really intricate. So I'm kind of glad that there's a busy section, a couple more simple sections, a busy section, a nice simple section, busy, simple. So it gives your eye a place to rest, and it's not overwhelming, and you don't go like, ah, I don't like it. So it's very cool. Very cool. I keep wanting to tilt it. I'm going to stop so I don't tilt it. Anyways, this was fun. I will take some pictures, and then when it's dry, I will show it to you again. Okay, so this is a few days later. This is the dried piece. I love how this one turned out. This is like one of my favorite color palettes. My friend the wind is here blowing the canvas around like a giant sail. This one is a 24 by 48, so it's got some room. Oh, hello, Zen. You came by. Okay, so let's take a look. You can see those metallics blinging a little bit, I think. This is such a pretty, I love. Hi, kitty kitty. Yes, you're gonna head bump it. Okay. So let's get into some of the colors. You see, I love these cells up here with the inside the copper with the VanDyke Brown. Just beautiful. Actually, you know what? I have this upside down. Hang on. There we go. That's better. Okay, so there's where those cells belong, down there in the corner. I love this gold part. I wanted to show you guys how when I first put it down when it was drying, it didn't seem like much was happening in there, but now you see these beautiful marbling and this, like, the separation of these colors in here with the pearl and the gold and that beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Not ombre, but the gradation is really, really pretty. Look at these gorgeous lines up here where you see that copper sort of blinging and sparkling in the sun. I love this part. Here's the center of our ring pour that we stretched out and opened up, and you can see all those beautiful metallics. Look at that copper in there. It's gonna go flying in a minute. Okay, beautiful cells over here on top of the VanDyke Brown. I love that close, so you can really see all the colors in there. There's copper inside of there and some of that burnt orange. Just gorgeous depth. I love that VanDyke Brown. It's amazing. It adds so much interest to each painting. Not necessarily because you look at it and you go, oh, I love brown, but it turns into these beautiful shadows and creates a lot of depth in your work. So if you do it right, you don't even notice off the bat that there's a lot of brown in there. Just that it, you know, makes your eye a lot happier. This part is my absolute favorite. I love these striations in here. You can see where there were a lot of cells, but remember we tilted this one to get a lot of the extra paint off. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. I love this. I might even put this one over my fireplace. Very cool. Very wonderful piece. I really love those earth tones, and this fall weather is wonderful. It's been chilly for us here in California in the mornings, but anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching. I really do appreciate it. I love to hear from you. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Look at these cute little tiny cells over here. Just adorable. I love that. Little tiny floating pearl cells. You know, this is when we stretch it. We stretch the top of it and we stretch the sides just to encourage these little tiny cells to come up. You know, not looking for those per se, but if they show up, that's awesome. I love this part. So you can see this is where the straight pour part was. Really cool little cells. So awesome. Shadow, sorry. So give these colors a go. That burnt orange is really beautiful with the copper. I was initially a little bit worried that they were going to be too close, but they look great together. Here you can see, especially with that gold and the pearl and the VanDyke Brown. Wonderful. I love this one. I wish you all a very, very happy fall, and enjoy these blustery days, and boots and sweaters and turtlenecks and soup. And what's your favorite thing about fall? What's your favorite fall color? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you for the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.